welcome back to C-Mill Guitar, your six-string solutions, with founder and creator Cory Miller. Now, welcome back, Cory Miller.
Hey, how are you? Welcome to C-Mill Guitar. It's your home for six-string solution. And what that means is we're not going to clean your guitar for you. We're hopefully going to answer questions and clear up any kind of things that are just mysteries to you about the guitar, alright? So like that bad boy, comment please, because we love to hear your comments, because this is a channel for you guys. This is a channel for anybody who's interested in playing guitar, any style, anything about the guitar. How many strings does it have? What kind of distortion pedal is best for what I'm doing? Anything like that, you know. So last week we were talking about finger exercises. Okay, we went over the caterpillar, right? The little 1, 2, 3, 4 thing. We went over a little variation on that with the fingers 1 and 2 on the previous string and 3 and 4 on the next one. And then we started going over kind of more of an arpeggio type of a riff, right? We did this. So let's continue with that. We were going to kind of talk about 2 ways that you could pick that, okay? So this is having to do with more right hand technique as well as left hand technique, and we'll kind of bring the 2 together here in this episode. Webisode, whatever you would like to call it. So let's just recap on that arpeggio riff, okay? We said earlier that we were going to use our first finger on the 5th fret of the D string, second finger on the 6th fret of the G string, third finger on the 7th fret of the B string, fourth finger on the 8th fret of the high E, okay? So we're going to play it like this. And then we're going to turn that around and come back down pitch-wise, okay? Alright? Now I just combined 2 different types of picking in that exercise, okay? By the way, B minor, or wait, hold please, my bad. B major, as in major 7th chord, okay? That is what that is. You may or may not be familiar with that shape, but that is what that chord is, and you can move that chord around. Perfectly legal. No one will come knocking on your door. Or maybe they will, but not for that. So, let's take a look at the way we're going to pick this with our right hand, okay? So we have 2 different ways we can pick this. We can do alternate picking, okay? Which is just a down on the first note, up on the second. Down on the first note, up on the second. And if you notice here, we're on the outside of the strings. We're playing on the outside of the string, okay, when we're doing this. We're going down on the outside of that string and up on the outside of the next string. Down on the outside of the next string, up on the outside of that string. So we're shooting the far side of these strings, okay? Same thing coming down. Down. Actually, that's not true. It's different coming down. We're playing on the inside of the strings coming down. Okay? So we're going inside of the string, down, pull back to up. Down, up. See, now we're on the inside of those strings. I don't know if you can see that. So we have less distance to travel actually that way. So if we do that exercise with alternate picking, it goes this way here. Okay? You get the idea. Same thing. Over and over and over again. So, with that in mind, we're going to do something that's a little bit more efficient. At least for this endeavor, okay? Because we're going straight up 1 note per string, and then we're going straight back down, okay? So it's this thing called sweep picking. You've probably heard of it. If you're a shred type person, I'm sure you're already doing it. But here's the idea, okay? We're going to do all down picks on the way up. What we're doing is we're sweeping across those strings. We're just pushing our pick through. Now notice the angle of my pick here. It's almost like I'm strumming, if you're familiar with rhythm guitar. See how it's angled here. And then on the way back, Notice how I'm pulling down here. Or I should say up, technically. Adjusting the pick angle just slightly, okay, so it can rake across the strings. Alright, so. Alright, you get the idea. So that's another really nice warm-up exercise. Now here's some other ones that you can do, okay? We're gonna start these a little bit higher on the guitar because these are gonna stretch your fingers, okay? We hadn't talked about that earlier, okay? These are just kind of stretching exercises, alright? So we're gonna start way up here on the 12th fret, and we're not gonna go right to the next fret, alright? We're gonna skip a fret with our second finger, and we are going to play the 12th and 14th. All the way up. And we're going to do alternate picking on that as well, okay? So down, up, okay? Now we're going to go one fret this way. Same span. We're always going to keep one fret in between, okay? Okay, now don't strain yourself. If this is starting to get too tight for you, if it's hurting your hand, just stop there, okay? You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to strain your ligaments or anything like that, all right? So the trick is, you're just, as the frets get further apart, your fingers get further apart, okay? So you're just stretching as far as you can. Okay? So now, we're going to go back up again, and we're going to use our second finger again, but this time we're going to have 2 frets in between. Okay, so we're going to start out on the 12th and the 15th fret here. And again, you want to stay on your fingertips as much as possible. Okay, and once you get to that spot to where it's kind of straining you, you really want to stop, okay? And for different people, that's different spots, okay? Same kind of thing with your first and third finger, okay? Same thing. You get the idea? You can stress a little further with that one, though. Kind of sounds odd. Kind of cool, though. You may be able to use that in something. Sounds like you're underwater, kind of. It's kind of fun. Okay, get the idea. Same thing with your fourth finger. Now here's the other thing that a lot of people don't do. They don't go between their second and third finger. We're going to skip that fret again. This one's tough, okay? And please, again, don't strain yourself. Don't overdo it. This isn't track and field. This is guitar, for gosh sakes, you know. You get the idea. Same thing with your third and fourth finger. Now, if you want your pinky to get strong and usable on guitar, this is a great exercise for it, okay? You get the idea. Very repetitive stuff, right? So, let me just talk a little bit about the way I use these in my own playing. Okay, when Jim, my friend Jim here, and I went to college together and took guitar, the book that we were using was actually written by our instructor, a guy named Mike Coates, okay? And still, in my opinion, one of the best rock guitar, lead guitar method books I've ever seen. And what he would do is he would have at the end of each chapter, he'd have a half-hour workout, right? And so it's kind of a warm-up thing, right? And so you could take 30 minutes. You know, I tell my students, you know, you want to take 5 minutes to warm up, 10 minutes to warm up. You can do that. But these are great exercises to kind of help you warm up before you get into your lesson. They kind of help you build your technique, keep your technique consistent. They're just really useful for that. You know, and like I said, you don't have to do them for 30 minutes. If you want to, that's great. You know, 5-10 minutes just to kind of warm up. If you've got 15 minutes to practice your guitar, you know, spend like a couple minutes doing those. Just kind of get into the groove of it. Maybe play some chords a little bit. do some of the techniques we've been talking about, and then get into whatever it is you're studying on your own, okay? Or with your instructor. Just a good way to do it. Before a gig, same thing. Warm-ups, they're great for you. So just like you would not jump out of bed and run a marathon, you would definitely not do that with guitar either, okay? So I encourage you to use these warm-ups any way you see fit. I also encourage you to come back next Wednesday to C-Mill Guitar, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and please, please keep commenting below, okay? And we will see you with more insightful stuff for you next Wednesday, all right?
And thank you again for joining us at C-Mill Guitar, your six-string solutions with founder and creator Cory Miller. See you next Wednesday.